This is the gold-silver comparisons, and we're going to look at the gold-silver ratio. And I think that you're going to find this pretty fascinating. Recently, we showed to our members, mostly, key levels for gold. And we cautioned that gold was sloppy, and there was weakness, and there was a pretty good chance that gold was going to break down, break support, and if that happened, we would change our upside projections for the gold market, which we thought would go to new highs for the year. Well, that support has broken. And silver is much better. And I'm going to show you some things that confirm that, and I think you'll find very, very valuable when we look at this. So first thing I want you to see is the look at the gold-silver ratio is what we're going to look at. So I got to pull in some charts in here for you to see. So here is the gold-silver ratio. So this will take a little bit of explaining, because what we're looking at here is I've taken the gold-silver ratio and divided it and established it at 65. Now this came from over 100. So right now the gold-silver ratio has really come in very, very significantly over months. What we're looking at here, well, this right over here is gold, as I highlight that, and you can see that gold has taken a pretty good trip to the downside. At the same time, what this ratio has done is continued to weaken, as you see it. So as this chart moves down, it's representative of the gold-silver ratio moving down. This big downside move here in the gold-silver ratio was that big uptick when the Redditors tried a short squeeze. Then it came back, but you could see here, as gold has continued to weaken, the gold-silver ratio has continued to weaken. And based on what we see in here, and based on what I'm going to show you now, it is likely that we will continue to see that happening. So that's a look at the gold-silver ratio, and I wanted you to get a sense for that, because gold has been weakening consistently against silver. So now this chart I'm bringing in right over here is a little bit different also, and this is the daily chart of gold and silver. And what we're looking at here are some of our proprietary indicators. So what we have is on the chart are a few things. We have our slim ribbon, which is right over here and shows momentum conditions. We have our slim ribbon PO, which is down here, which not only shows the momentum condition when it's red, but also gives signals. In other words, telling you when it is likely that the momentum is going to continue. You can see that right there. So gold market, which we're looking at the 6-month daily in here, has turned weak as far as momentum goes. Also, this dashed line in here is our reversal scout, which is also a directional indicator. So when the reversal scout is moving up and the momentum is green, it is likely you're going to get upside movement. When the reversal scout rolls over, and that is one of the earliest signals you'll get, then that essentially tells you that momentum is likely changing, and as you could see, it turned negative in here and has remained negative. Comparatively, look at silver over here as we look at the silver chart, and that is the reversal scout here turned upward. The momentum is positive, and our slim ribbon PO, which is only available to our level 4 members for use on the Thinkorswim platform. If you want to get this, please join Thinkorswim, open an account, do that through our website. We get credit for that, and you'll be able to have our proprietary indicators. In this case, the slim ribbon PO, which is just a phenomenal indicator. And when you put this all together, what am I looking at? Negative momentum right over here on short term. We're looking at a daily chart. Positive momentum all signaled over here, and what that tells you is that you can expect that gold and silver, the relationship between them, which shows gold much weaker than silver, or silver much stronger than gold, is very likely to continue. That says to me that if you get some days where gold moves up and silver doesn't move up as far, or silver moves down and gold doesn't move down as far, it'll probably be temporary and even give you an opportunity if you're interested in that trading that ratio. If not, this gives you a very, very good sense for that gold-silver ratio and why it's being driven the way it is, and the very significant condition changes that we see going on here, where silver is much stronger than gold. So now what I bring you in here is our weekly analysis in gold. And the key levels that were broken right over here says to us that it is likely that the high for gold has been seen for the year. That's not something I wanted to say, but back here on December 17th, we said if gold gets over 1970, that it likely gets to 2100. If it fails at that 1970 level, it likely tests 1770. It failed at 1970. It's testing actually that 1767 number. So it did exactly what we cautioned about back in December. Here we said on 1217, the cycle shape indicated a rising phase, but it needs a momentum upturn. What happened was that at that time, it got only a slight momentum upturn, and then it turned down again. There's our momentum indicator right here for the weekly, and that now is pointing to problems. We believe that we're going to get a rally in here, and that cyclically this cycle is bottoming, and this cycle will turn upward. That should get it up into this declining resistance zone. We'll call it up between 1845 and 1885, right in there. That, in our opinion, would be a sell area. And if that happened, I think the percentage of advance for the silver market would be much bigger. Why do I say that? /SI. We'll look here as we look at the silver market, and you can see, again, the very different picture. While gold has had a breakdown below this key level, silver is actually in a very significant uptrend. This momentum in here is strongly to the upside. And while there is likely a little corrective period right in here, which might give you some chop in this area, it is then very likely that we're going to see upside move in the silver market that will likely take you up to these resistance areas, these targets right up over here, which is around $31 and over $33 up over there, and our monthly projections would actually be higher up there. So right now you can see that we have what we think is a likely track up here to 31, and then this green track up here to 33 we think is possible. So you could see the sharp contrast when we look at that, looking at gold versus silver on the weekly, gold versus silver on the daily, gold versus silver on the ratio chart. All of that really points to the fact that silver is much better and still quite positive, while at the same time gold is much weaker. Gold and silver are unhooking right now. In other words, they might move up and move down together, just as they always do. But silver is much better, as you could see in this chart right now. And maybe it's time for traders to unhook also, as the real trade is probably going to be looking for opportunities to buy silver, looking for it to move to the upside in a much stronger way than gold probably can do right now. There you go, as we looked at that gold-silver ratio that I think is very, very significant. As we looked at very, very unusual charts probably. Remember, our level 4 members can ask us for these charts, and that would then maybe be helpful to you when we look at that. So that is the important look at the gold and silver market.